This is what I'm here for.
We'll call the Owatonna City Council meeting to order for Tuesday, November 19th. May we have roll call, please?
Councilmembers Svenby.
Here.
Turleson.
Here.
Dodson.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Burbank.
Here.
Rainey.
Here.
Abraham.
Here.
Mayor Kuntz.
Here.
We have all 7 of the council and the mayor present.
Thank you. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone here for our meeting tonight, and with that, we will move on to approval of the agenda, and I don't think there's any corrections or changes. Is that right?
So we approve.
We have a motion by Raymond to approve the agenda.
Second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Brent Svenby. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. And with that, we'll move on to the first item on the agenda, the public hearing, and we'll ask for a motion to bring that back onto the floor because it was tabled at our last meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion by Greg to bring it back to the floor. Do we have a second to that?
Second.
Second by Nate. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. Now we will move on to modify the tax increment financing district for 3.6 for Owatonna. We'll go to Troy.
A tax increment financing district has been approved for Viacon for their expansion project. All parcels owned by Viacon were included in the district except for one that was thought at the time to not have any improvements on it as part of that expansion. As plans were developed, there may be improvements from future expansion plans that would occur on this parcel. That, coupled with the fact that the entire property was replatted into one lot, has prompted the modification of the TIF district to include the entire Viacon property. This boundary modification does not increase the term of the district. It does not increase the amount of the increment that will be captured or the amount of increment that will be used for the project. This is more of a housekeeping modification to the TIF district. Costs associated with the TIF modification will be paid for by Viacon as stated in our development agreement. So staff would recommend approval of the adoption of the resolution approving the modification of TIF Tax Increment Financing District 3-6.
Thank you, Troy. With that, we'll open up the public hearing at 7:04. If anyone in the audience wishes to be heard on this issue, please come forward. Sign in. Seeing none, we'll look for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion by Brent to close the public hearing. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave Burbank. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This is now council comment. Okay. Any questions or comments from the council?
Make a motion we approve.
We have a motion to approve Resolution 105-13 by Nate. Do we have a second to that?
Second.
Second by Greg Schultz. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. Thank you, Troy. We will now move on to the financial report, and we have a recap. $120,801 for Blue Cross Blue Shield for November health insurance premiums, and $285,083 for other expenditures for a total of $406,894. What is the council's wishes?
Motion to pay the bills.
We have a motion by Kevin to pay the bills. Do we have a second to that?
Second.
Second by Nate. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. Now we move on to the consent agenda items, which are minutes of meetings, license permits, board requests, etc., all grouped into one motion. What is the council's?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion by Raymond to approve the consent agenda items. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Brent Svenby. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda items have been approved. Now we move on to, let's see where I'm at here. Action items 3.11, on sale liquor with Sunday sales license application for Bumps Bar at 215 18th Street Southeast. We'll go to Chris.
Thank you, Les. What we have here is council consideration of a new license for let's see, Bumps Bar. We've received an application from Carol Gowland on behalf of Claremont Pub for an on-sale liquor license with a Sunday sales permit. We have received all of the necessary information for the license. Chief Hiller has no objection to the issuance of this license. They plan to be open during the month of December, and the bar manager, Andrew Arsenault, is here if you have any questions for him, but staff would recommend approval.
Thank you. Any questions from the council? Raymond?
Are you planning on serving food on Sunday? Is that why?
Cheese bread and chips.
What's I didn't hear you?
Andrew, go on. Step
Pizza,
out to the mic,
cheese-
please.
Oh, pizza.
Pizza and chips and cheese
Oh,
bread.
So that's what you're planning on serving Sunday to comply with the Sunday law?
Right, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Make a motion, we approve.
We have a motion by Nate to approve. Do we have a second to that?
Oh, second.
Second by Raymond. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. Good luck with it.
Hamburger Hunt.
Now we move on to resolutions 111-13, set compensation for public utilities commissioners. And this will go to Chris.
Thank you, Les. The council received a request from Mark Fitch, our general manager at OPU, to consider increasing the compensation for our utility board members by $100 per month. We discussed this at length at a work session in October, where we reviewed some survey data and other background information brought by Mark. The consensus of the council after that meeting was to bring forth an increase in compensation to an additional $25 per month. This would have an impact to the budget, or the Owatonna Public Utilities budget, of about $1,500 per year, and staff would recommend approval.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions from the council? Seeing none, what is the council's wishes? Chair will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Nate to approve. Do we have a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Dave Burbank. Any further discussion?
Les?
Yes.
Well, I appreciate it's only $25, and for each member, we have many boards and commissions within the city that volunteer their time. Myself personally, I feel that $100 compensation per month is an amount that I'm comfortable with. I can't support the $25 extra per month.
Thank you. Any other comments? We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah.
I think it's too close. I'm going to ask for a roll call. With that, I will go.
Councilmember Svenby,
Aye.
Trilson,
Nay.
Dotson,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Burbank,
Aye.
Rainey,
Nay.
Abraham.
Aye. It does pass. So with that, congratulate them and thank them for their service. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is 113.13, authorizing, 112.13.
I think it's just...
I'll get back over here.
Mid-done?
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to my,
Okay.
accept MnDOT Office of Aeronautics grant agreement, and we'll go to Troy.
The John Deere Gator utility vehicle that is being brought to you here with the grant would allow airport staff to be more efficiently provide inspection and maintenance of airport property, including grounds, buildings, navigation aids, and lighting systems. The new Gator would also be available to service and move aircraft as needed. The vehicle is equipped with snow removal blade for winter operations, and all project costs are eligible for 2/3 grant refund participation. So the grant offer with the MnDOT Office of Aeronautics is for $10,866, representing two-thirds of state funding participation for the total cost of the equipment, and the local cost for the equipment is one-third of that at $5,433. So we had, when we made those changes to our service agreement with Langer Aviation, we took over services on the weekends. We did not have a vehicle to move airport equipment and airplanes, and so we did have that need there. We did talk with the state aeronautic office there to find out if they would be willing to participate in the grant, and they were, with two-thirds, provided that there be a snow blade on there, and that's why that was added in. So staff would recommend approval of the resolution authorizing the acceptance of the MnDOT grant agreement for the purchase of the new airport utility vehicle.
Thank you, Troy. Any questions from the council?
Move to approve.
We have a motion by Greg Schultz to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Brent Svenby. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. Thank you. Good luck. And with that, we'll move on to 113.13, authorizing order to correct hazardous conditions. And then we'll go to Chris or Mark.
As you know, in the flood of September of 2010, some of the homes on Maple Drive, one in particular, had considerable damage. The rear wall caved in. It continues to be open to the elements. The homeowners have signed a consent for the city to enter on the premises to board up the property and otherwise secure it. The applicable statute also requires notice and consent of the mortgage holder if we're going to do it by the consent method. It's Bank of America. We haven't received their consent yet. It's not that they likely wouldn't give it to us. It's just going through the channels. There's a more expeditious manner of proceeding, which calls for the council to adopt a resolution to order that it be boarded up, and then after the lapse of 6 days, it not having been done by the owner, then we can go on and do it. And the owner is agreeable to us going on the property and doing that and proceeding under the statute that doesn't require the consent of Bank of America. So I'm asking that the council consider and adopt this resolution.
Thank you, Mark. Any
Welcome.
questions from the council? Raymond?
If we do that go in the tax rule then, Mark?
Yes, I should have said that. You're right. You're absolutely right. The cost is assessed against the property as any special service assessment would be, the same as weeds, that type of thing.
I would like to make a motion accepting that, but in the motion, I'd like to have us notify the two neighbors on each side what we're doing there, why, so they're aware of what's going on out there.
Sure, it's a good idea.
So at least they're aware of why we're doing it to better protect the neighborhood.
Thank you.
So
with that, we have a motion by Raymond to approve with the addition to notify the neighbors adjacent.
Second.
Second by Greg Schultz. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This has been approved. Now we are down to public comment, and if anyone would like to speak, please come to the microphone and sign in, and ask you to limit your comments to 2 minutes on items not on the agenda. Seeing none, move on to council comment, and we'll start with Brent.
I have nothing this evening.
Raymond?
just got a couple items. One, I'd like to thank the staff, whoever worked on State and Bridge Avenue stoplight. I think they got some things working there now that maybe will make it easier. I'd like to sometime bring on the table. I've had a few calls on deer again. Maybe we should start thinking about it or talk about it again. I also want to make sure the people are aware out there in the community. We have an ordinance that says do not blow your leaves on the street. I've had a couple, 3 calls, and there is an ordinance against that, and people are aware they could be fined on that. So, and I also like to wish everybody a blessed and happy Thanksgiving. So,
Thank you, Raymond. Nate?
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Greg?
Everything's quiet in Ward 2, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Dave?
Happy Thanksgiving next week, and it's no comment from Ward 3.
Kevin?
Happy Thanksgiving. Good luck to the Huskies football team next week, state tournament. And just a reminder that we are now in our winter snow policy, and so be aware of which side of the street you should be parking on.
Winter parking ordinance.
Winter parking ordinance.
Mayor Tom.
Several things. I had the privilege of going to the National League of Cities Conference in Seattle this last week, and some of the reports, one of the site tours was on Columbia City Landmark District, and they did a historic preservation, and the reason for their historic preservation was because of crime and prostitution and everything, so they were able to get 3 or 4 of the business and building owners together and have made great improvements and designated the site as historic preservation, which is very, very nice. Seattle also has a neighborhood matching funds. They have neighborhood district coordinators, and included in the city budget is $2,488,000 for that neighborhood district coordinators to put in for grants to improve neighborhoods. They also have community gardening, patch community gardening program, and the neighborhood district coordinators help with that gardening process. Did another tour of Tukwila, which was a community school thing, and believe it or not, that area is really made up of a lot of different nationalities. 82% of their students are colored, 77% qualify for free lunch or reduced meals, and 36% of them are learning English. So they really have challenges. And what their program does with city help donated to the school system in the amount of money, they have a program that is instituted from when the kids get out at 3 o'clock, and they keep them there till 6, and they provide them with student training and help them with education. They also serve them a hot lunch or a hot supper, because some of those don't get that when they get home. And their graduation rate in 2004 was 52%. Since they've instituted this program, their graduation rate is now 76%. So
Fantastic.
They have done a great job of having a partnership with the city government and the schools in order to help educate the students. And there was a couple other ones, making your community more business friendly and some economic development tools. And as I get deeper into those, I will make sure that I share those with the city council. I did talk to Greg Paulson today. Greg Paulson is one of the engineers from MnDOT for Rochester District. One thing, he's building a new house in Rochester, so he's now living for 4 months with his parents in Owatonna. So he has to drive that road every day, so he is going to have first-hand experience on what it is. That section of Highway 14 from where it ends right in Owatonna, 218, to the railroad tracks will be the first section of highway that is started on the Corridors of Commerce project. They're 60% done with their plans. They plan on opening bids in April. It'll be a 2-year project. The north side lanes will be the first year, and south side lanes, redoing of those will be the second year. They're also using some federal funds to extend the life of the EIS study by doing drainage and pools and locating utilities and stuff. So they hope to have legs 2 and 3 ready for go by the end of next year in case there's some dollars available for that. Just for everybody's information, the existing Highway 14, and that would be from 35 to 218, and then from where it ends at the railroad tracks to Dodge Center, we'll have an overlay scheduled for 2015.
An overlay.
Overlay. So the roughness that is from 218 to 35 won't be taken care of in 14, but will be taken care of in 15.
Okay, great.
A couple other things. In Seattle, they have all aldermen at large right now, so they feel that they don't have any hidden issues out there. They're changing their system, and next election will be at ward, so they'll be interested to see how the ward thing goes. And if you feel that you're not being paid enough for your city council duties, you can go to Seattle. They make $117,000 a year for city council. The other thing is, I attended a dinner last night by the Drug-Free Coalition, and just to give council just a little bit of a bad time, they did 2 awards last night. One award went to Medford, one award went to Blooming Prairie, and it was for plaques for making their parks drug-free. I mean, smoke-free. So just to bring that up, it's not a dead issue. I know we've tabled it back there, so just to make sure that you're still aware of that it's an issue. And we've got 2 of the cities in Steele County receiving plaques for it. So, and also the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast is this Thursday at 7:30. Hope you can attend to that. It's at the Arts Center. And also the December 6th, we will be having the holiday train again stop in Owatonna. That's at 1145 Park Drive, and their main reason is money for the Steele County Food Shelf. And as they have said, this is their 50th year celebration, so they will have a special award for Owatonna that has not been announced as of yet, but they will have that. And I stopped up to the compost site today to give my last bag of leaves out there, and they said they've got 1 more week open, and then they'll be closing.
Okay, thank you. Chris?
Yes, I have a couple of announcements, too. Thanksgiving holiday, the city offices will be closed on Thursday, November 28th for Thanksgiving. Also a reminder for our next council meeting, December 3rd, we will hold a public hearing regarding the proposed 2014 budget and levies, and that meeting will be here in the council chambers. Cheryl Pfeiffer, a long-term employee working over at the police department, is retiring and going to celebrate her retirement Thursday, December 5th from 3 to 6 p.m. in the Owatonna Arts Center. And this is a great idea that they came up with. Cheryl said, "It's the season of giving and sharing rather than a card or a gift. Please consider donating a new or gently worn pair of mittens or gloves. There will be a container available at the reception for donations that will be delivered to a local charity." So,
Could you send us a note on that, Chris?
pardon me?
Could you send us a note on that?
Absolutely.
We got an email
We got an email today.
We got an email today on it.
Oh, okay. The other thing, Chris, just a question. We're having a joint meeting with the county.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. We are going to have a joint meeting. We do these every year with the city, county, school, and this year we're going to invite OPU, and it's going to be on Monday, December 2nd, starting at 4:30 at the Owatonna Arts Center. And we just plan to share our strategic plans and look for, at 4:30, and look for ways for collaboration and innovation to work together better. So.
Thank you. And again, like Raymond, I've received a number of calls on the amount of deer within the city limits, and they would like us to take some action to correct some of that. So I think we need to be
We'll talk about
moving
that.
forward some more on that. And I also want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas or Thanksgiving. I'm way ahead of myself. I saw it at Hy-Vee, all the Christmas stuff.
Dave Burbank put that up.
Dave did, okay. The other thing is that the lighting of the Central Park is Thursday night at 6 o'clock,
Yep.
6:30.
Yep, 6 o'clock.
parade.
The parade and everything at 6 o'clock this coming Thursday. So
Todd Hale's lighting the lights this year.
fantastic. No, it's not Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. So, with that, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Kevin, second by Raymond. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.